Hi everyone, it's Holitza here. It's Insightful Inspirations. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about how to get the most out of your energy healing sessions, whether they be with me or just out in the world. There is some ways that you can maintain the buzz that you get from the energy healing and the progress and growth that the energy fields are trying to assimilate. So I tell people in my sessions, it takes about a week to really get a sense about what all happened in the session, about 2 to 3 days for it to actually integrate. So I tell people be easy on themselves, stay aware to what else might be happening, what phone calls you receive, what conversations you have. It's all part of that process of engaging with your own resonance and your own energy field. So how can you keep this energy going for longer without having to go back to your energy healer? Of course, we love to see you, but one of the ways to keep this going is to spend a little bit of time every single day touching into how it felt, to hear the messages, to have the session, just kind of like a remembrance. You can do that with your eyes closed. It can only take 30 seconds, but it's just sitting there going, oh yes, there that feeling is, this is what I'm going forward with, and just touching into that. Another thing you can do is practice grounding. Now, grounding is not a new term. We've been using this forever and ever, but we still haven't learned how to do it as a whole. Some of it has to do with embodiment and it being kind of challenging to be in these physical bodies, but it also is about being able to say, I'm willing to take a few minutes just to acknowledge that my energy is super high and I want to bring it down lower. So the visualization I like to use, and I know many healers use, is the idea of a grounding cord, which is where it's hollow, it's attached at the base of your spine, goes all the way down to the center of the earth, and it's open and hollow as wide as your hips to let energy flow down and be recycled and let go of. And the outer edges are supportive and feeding, kind of like roots, that allow the energy to come up from the earth and be supportive and in that unconditional love. Now, our earth is going through a lot of changes all on her own, her consciousness and her energy field. So it is also about tapping into the fact that we're kind of in this fluctuation. We're rewriting our relationship with her and letting that grounding cord kind of inform those changes as well. Okay, so the visualization can be, I like to use like a little string that goes from the base of the spine down to the center of the earth, like it has a weight on it, and then let it parachute open. And then let all the energy start to flow out of me that I no longer need, anything that's foreign or no longer useful. And then I let the earth give me, through visualizations of color, I may give it a texture, giving it some energy about what I'm taking up from the earth. And being that witness to the energy rather than dictating. So I'm not necessarily saying, Earth, you will give me this, but instead I'm opening up to receiving what is offered. And you can simply do that just by being still, being quiet, just for a minute. I know that's hard for a lot of us. The other thing that you can do to keep your energy improving while after an energy healing session is to just visualize your arm's length around you space, pushing your energy field out rather than shrinking in. Okay, so thinking about spreading your energy field arm's length around you and letting that bubble be protective of of what you have gotten done or what integrations you are doing. In my sessions, at the end, I ask you what color you would like to wear for protection. That color I use with your energy field to surround you with that color to help with this integration, arm's length around in all directions. Okay? The last thing is really just to stay open. Sometimes people have pretty strong expectations about what happens after an energy healing, and they want certain things to be fixed or they want things to shift. And it's really about letting the energy work with you and cooperate with you rather than dictate to it, this is what I'm going to get out of this, okay? It's also trying to soften into what you think you might be demanding versus what's being kind of brought through, and seeing that kind of outside yourself with a curious mind. So staying curious rather than declaring and labeling things and saying this is good, this is bad, this is happening, that's not happening. Instead, just kind of staying curious and say, I'm open to see what's going on. Okay, so those are just a few things that help you get a little bit more out of your energy healing sessions. The last thing I'm going to say is be careful who you share with about your revelations. Sometimes you're still blossoming and it's almost like a fragile little seedling coming out of the soil. And if you share too soon with other people, they sometimes accidentally put their doubts or fears or squash it a little bit. Okay, so I'm not saying don't go and I mean, I have a great referral base for my energy healing. So I love the referrals and people saying, oh, you should go see this person. But when it comes to like what intimate setting stuff happen inside your healing space, save it for the sacred people. Save it for your sacred circle. Don't necessarily shout it to the world, especially at first, because sometimes if you're just new and fresh with it too, and you want to be gentle with it. Okay, I hope that helps. I love to see you all again sometime. Take care.